Welcome to the MBD podcast, the show where we dig into what's actually working or not when it comes to scaling businesses. And today's guest has definitely been there as far as scaling businesses. So why don't you go ahead, introduce yourself, tell everyone where you've been, where you're at, and where you're going.
Fantastic. Thank you. It's great to be here with you, Jason. My name is Blake Moore. I am the owner of Moore Green, which is a lawn care, tree care company located in northern Utah. Started back in 2004, and here we are in 2026. Started from as a one-man show, and now we're up to 11 employees.
Awesome. So, what were ways that you were able to scale because you launched your own business? Like how did that kind of evolve? Like what were some of the pain points and growth areas that you identified from the beginning where you were going to scale and continue to grow the business?
Yeah, so when I started, I was all by myself, and I love to do kind of all aspects of the business, whether it was being out doing the services that I provide, or I even like the office type work, which was the accounting of it, the marketing side of it, talking to customers. So but my business needed to grow, and I needed the cash to be able to grow it. So my very first hire was an office manager who came in and did everything paperwork wise, or the things that I didn't want to do. I knew that I needed to be out producing, doing craft time. So she was my first hire, and it was awesome. She did what she did well, and I did everything out in the field. And basically, I was doing the work of two people to be able to
Mm,
afford her. And so as time grew, obviously I couldn't do that work physically,
yeah.
all the production. So then it became time to look for someone to help me with that.
And what was the role at the office? Because you've got to go out, you've got to develop business, and you've got to service the business. Now you have someone in office who's taking care of kind of the busy work that was preventing you from doing those things. So how did you adjust what that person was doing to make sure that they were able to support that so that way you could do those two other functions?
Yeah. So what her role was to answer phones, and so you know we do multiple jobs per day. So there's a lot of setting up, contacting them before we do the service, um, collecting the payments, paying the bills, entering in all the transactions on our CRM. And so she did all of that. So she would answer the phone, she would arrange for the jobs for me to do. She would, communicate and data entry. She would prepare the checks for me to sign and pay the bills. She did all of that so I could maximize my time out in the field.
Okay.
And she was
So
awesome
she
at
was,
it.
yeah, she's doing all the
Yeah,
office management work. Yeah.
she would do all of the office management work. We would have office meetings over the phone. So
Mm,
I would leave early, come back late, so I wouldn't see her. So during the day, we would have a phone call and go over all the things she needed to connect with me about, or the things I needed
nice.
her to do.
Yeah,
So
the check in.
yeah, we had a check in and a couple times a day, and it was wonderful.
And so now you got this key person in place so that way you could do the servicing. But how are you growing the bit? How are leads coming in? Who is managing the marketing and how are you getting more clients?
Yeah, so I marketed on a shoestring. Here was my
Hmm.
marketing strategy, is that I needed to be in front of people. People needed to
Uh,
see me. And oftentimes in my industry, this lawn care business, we're in and out fairly quickly. People don't see us. So my marketing strategy became I need to work later in the day when people are coming home from work and on Saturdays when people were home. So I would stay out late. People would be arriving home from work. They would see me in a neighbor's yard. They would stop and ask me questions, ask about, hey, can you do my lawn while you're here? Or can I get a bid? That kind of thing. And so I see my business. Yes, I do lawn care, but I'm in the relationship business,
Yeah.
and I just happen to do lawn care. So it's important for me to connect directly, face to face with my clients. So by being out in the yard with them, I could upsell them or answer their questions and basically created this loyalty. You know, my business is more about, when I pick up a customer, I expect to do their lawn forever. It's not just
Yeah.
I'm doing their lawn today or doing their lawn this year. It's I want to be your lawn guy and tree guy forever. And the way to do that was be with them. Yeah. So I would be with them and I would give them time. I would talk to them, get to know them. And that was my marketing strategy. It didn't cost me anything other than my time away from home.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of the people working on the yards around here, they can't communicate with us because they speak different languages. So it's like there's no relationship built, and so it comes down to who's going to charge the least and who's going to do the most because you don't care necessarily about that relationship you have with them. Well, like my mom, she's like in an area where it's one guy working it, and and they're having discussions about things like, oh, he's a little more, but that's okay. Like, he's nice. And so it's like a huge
Right.
difference, right? Like the relationship versus not the relationship,
Yeah.
non-relationship, transactional relationship. Now you're building something.
And I always tell my employees that it's easy for a client to cancel More Green, but it's really
Mhm.
difficult for them to cancel Blake Moore or them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They like Ian. It's hard for them to cancel Ian, for example.
Hmm. Yeah, it makes me think like, okay, I'm done. Hey, we're done. I wanted to show you something. Hey, we're done. Check out this new thing we did. Hey, we're done. What do you think? It's like just that little bit of feedback versus showing up, mowing the lawn, doing the plants, getting out of there can make a huge difference. It's take an extra couple minutes to speak with them.
Yeah, and I would pay attention to what was going on in their yard.
Hmm.
If I was doing the lawn, I could see, well, they have some fruit trees, which is my specialty. I could ask them, well, tell me about your fruit trees. Do you like the fruit? Who prunes
Yeah.
them? Who sprays them? By the way, I do that. I can help you with that. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so it was really, instead of
Cross
being
sell.
quick on the job, I took my time to connect with my clients.
Awesome. So now you're growing. You got office manager. You're growing. You're connecting with clients. Now you got higher labor. What was the process? That first one's always the one where you're like, yes, I want more labor. I don't know about doing this. So how was your experience getting that first person, and how do you now look for people to make sure they're a right fit for your team based on you're running a relationship business, not a lawn care business, in a sense.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I started with um, someone that could work 2 days a week, and
Hmm.
because I figured, I needed the cash to fund me, that person, as well as the office manager who was full
Yeah.
time, and but I I couldn't do twice the amount of work or even grow that fast. I didn't have the cash. It takes money to grow. And so I wanted to make the money to be able to scale. So I
Yeah.
didn't go into any debt. I worked and I put money away to scale. So when it came time to hiring someone, I found a fireman who would work 3 days and then he had 2 days off. Or actually, I think he worked 2 days and had 3 days off, whatever their schedule was.
Yeah.
He wanted to work. So he would come in and do a couple of days with me, which helped free me up to go out and do more bids or other things.
Yeah.
And then I needed a full-time person, so he wasn't the person to be the full-time person. So I found someone that helped me in the off season doing my tree pruning that loved to be outdoors, and he became the person to be my next full-time employee. which was
Mhm.
an awesome fit because he had worked with me and he would listen to how I would talk to customers. So he became kind of a mini me, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so now he's
Nice.
connecting with people, and so the two of us, we just worked and connected with our customers. We worked Saturdays, we worked late so that people could see us, and that started to build our business. As we added more employees, um, then it became something where with some hires that weren't the right people, I
Hmm.
I I needed to do I needed to find a way to be able to filter the quality candidates and not spend all the time. I it was a full-time process, going
Yeah.
through applications and interviewing and all that kind of thing. So I refined and spent time in refining my hiring process. And we came up with a pretty cool, we call it our Batman concept,
Hmm.
which we were looking for a Batman, which means that we're looking for someone who can be capable to go out on, in the Batmobile, can go out and do the jobs, and
Yeah.
didn't need someone to watch over them, that Batman could get it done by themselves. We were okay to hire a Robin, if the Robin had
Hmm.
potential to become a Batman, but we
Yeah.
didn't hire jokers. This became our job ad, and we still get comments on our job ad about Batman and
Yeah.
Jokers and Robins. So it became kind of a fun type of a way to, like, this is the culture with, of my business, and people connect to Batman. So
Hmm.
we still use it today, and it's one of our, I mean, it is the best way to have that conversation of what type of person we're looking for.
Yeah.
So,
That can be very difficult to dial into, and it sounds like you're able to do it because it's hard to find the right people. So, what do you do within the process? One, they say they're Batman, but two, when it comes to execution, it can be completely different. So, do you do a trial period? How do you structure when you bring on someone to make sure that they're going to be the right fit?
yeah. So through, once we go through the interview process, and any person that responds to our application or our job ad with "I am Batman," which is what we have at the bottom of our ad. If this
That's
is you,
awesome.
respond "I am Batman."
So they read through
Those,
it.
yeah, they've read through it. They paid attention to detail,
Yeah,
which what I need. They automatically are raised to the top. So whether they
got
have
it.
experience or no experience, they paid attention. They responded in the way that I asked them to. We automatically interview them. And after an interview, then we let them test us out. So we bring them on our truck or our crew for a day. We
Hmm.
pay them to do an on the job interview, and they can ask my crew or whoever they're working with any questions that they want. So I kind of say that, okay, we've interviewed you, you interview my guys. Like, I'm not going to be on that crew because obviously I'm going to say everything positive about my business,
Hmm.
but go and interview the guys that work for me, and they'll tell you straight up if it's a
Yeah,
good place to work. So we
awesome.
ended up, so that's what we did. And what's neat is my technicians and my employees, they want to work with good people too,
Yeah.
so now they're looking at them and getting a feel for them. And oftentimes they'll bring up things that maybe I overlooked because I need to hire someone.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, having people in place can make a big difference because then you have stuff that doesn't get done. And then it's like, well, now I got to go do this
Right,
on top of
right.
everything else. And you don't have a choice as a business owner where the other guys, I did my time. I did the job. I'm good. But it's up
That's
to
right.
us to always step in and be the Superman over, depend on the side you take, who can win, Superman versus Batman, right?
Right.
So now you've got your teams. you're growing the office manager, you're doing word of mouth. Now, how else are you scaling? Are you using any other marketing techniques to grow the business?
Yeah. So as far as marketing goes, it's the marketing has changed throughout the years. So I used to be able to get leads from postcards, which produced, I would get
Direct
one
mail,
percent.
yeah.
I would get 1% would call me, and I could sell 70% of those.
Okay.
But then with the internet and things like that, man, the direct mail started having lower response rates. I could still close at 70%. So it became more online marketing, social media, trying to get that relationship built. We work through our current clients in trying to pick up neighbors or family members. And plus, if I can make their yard look really good,
Yeah.
then neighbors ask them about it. It's an easy sell for them to just give them my name. I have a
Yeah.
lawn sign that we put in every house that we do, and with our phone number and website. And so all of that's leading to us. So that's, and now that, you know, emailing is, that's another way to market, but we've really had a lot of success with text marketing. And
Hmm.
one of the ways text marketing, I'll explain that is, we have all of these people that connect with us through the website and through we have their phone numbers. We can send them a text and not give them offers or, you know, kind of connect with them that way. It's really cheap and inexpensive. We
Yeah.
don't try to bombard them over and over again, just kind of a touch here and there. We added to our website the ability for someone on our website to measure their own lawn and then get instant prices and sign
Wow.
up and pay for it without talking to a human. And so they color in their area of their lawn, just like you would a coloring book.
Hmm.
It measures it, it creates an account in my system. It says, here's the prices. You can pay for it all up front or by each time
Wow.
or
That's cool.
auto bill them. And all of that is done without the help of a human being. That's all taken care of. So whether we
That's
sell
awesome.
them or not, one of the things we do is we capture their name and address and phone
Hmm.
number, even if they stop in the process and don't get prices. And so those are the people we then reach out to them with a person through a text to just say, hey, I saw that you were on our site looking, wanting to get some prices. How can I help you? And now we're back to the personal connection, which is what I'm after.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome to be able to do that and have the ability to be able to do that because I could see that being such a huge lead magnet where I just want to know what the dimensions of my lawn are. So let me just go through the process. And if anything, I'll have a better understanding.
Yeah, and you may not want to be bothered by a person talking
Yeah.
to, right? You're just like, well,
Yeah.
how much does that cost? And if I can do that kind of quietly without having someone come to my house, I want to do that. And
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
we let them do that. And then from there, then we try to, if it's something that they're interested in, then we start having conversations and we'll go out and do a free consultation with them so that, if they have questions, they want us to see the lawn
Yeah.
and it's not always about price. Sometimes it is, and we have ways that they can do that. But those that need help, we provide that.
Awesome. So, what's one thing that you wish you knew earlier on in your career that could have helped make a big difference while you were scaling?
I wish I could delegate and let go more easily. It was hard to let someone else take care of these clients that I built a relationship
Mm,
with, and
yeah.
it was hard for me to trust someone else to do what I wanted them to do.
Yeah, for sure. It's very difficult because you build it. It's your hard work. It's your years, and it's your level of detail. It's your business, and there's a standard that you want to have, and not. And most people will never have that level of standard as the business owner because there's only one business owner, but there's a lot of employees, right? So it's like I always tell that when I work with business owners, I'm like, and they'll be frustrated with the people that they've hired, and I'll be like, look, they're not you. There's a reason you're in your seat. They're not going to be you. You have to learn to accept that. There's
Yeah.
just how it
And,
is.
maybe I'm the Superman, but they're the Batman, right? So
There you go. Yeah, exactly. You need a bunch of Batmans, right? Like,
they can be
awesome.
really
Well,
good at specific things. They don't have to do
yeah,
everything like I've done everything in my business.
yeah,
They just need to
yeah.
do a piece of it.
Yeah, and they need to do it really well as you could if you as well as you could with everything going on. Now, if you were to only focus on it, it might be better than what they're doing, unless they're kind of that expert at that particular task. But
Yeah.
what so how can people connect with you and learn more about what you're doing?
They can connect to me directly through like my website, which is www.getmoregreen. So that's MOORE,
Hmm.
getmoregreen.com. They can email me at blake@getmoregreen.com. That's a great way to connect. Or shoot me
Awesome.
a
Well, thank you for
text.
taking. Oh,
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah.
801. Yeah, my text is 801-336-1540, and send that to me there. I'd love to get some feedback.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, pleasure is mine. Thank you, Jason.